This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Helping you find emotional, spiritual, and physical balance. What does your future hold? It's time to find out with Psychic Suzanna.
Yes, you're in the right place. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Now you can find us at psychicsusanna.com or 1110 KFAB. And when you join Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook, you'll find out what's happening on the show. And this past week was a week where we had a planned program, but we had to stop and we had to take a look. Are you aware that the violence in this world is something that we're always going to see and always be around? But how do we deal with it? What do we do? What do we tell our children how we deal with it? And so I'd like to dedicate this show to those who have lost their lives. Our beautiful principal, our Vicky. Did you know it was her birthday the day after the shooting? And did you know that she was so good to so many kids at Millard High? I mean, she has a history. And everyone she touched is touched by this horrific event. But I also want to say and dedicate this show to Gabrielle. Gabrielle is the 9-year-old girl who was at Christina Green's conference. She was there, and at the conference she was brought by a friend because she had just been elected to the school council for government. So she was interested in government. Here's the interesting fact. She was born on 9/11. And her father said that being born on 9/11, it was about hope. And she was the hope for the future. So where is our hope now? What do we do in the middle of this pain? And for this pain, I have brought to the studio, I have brought to the air, Dr. Allan Gonsher. Yes, you've heard of him before. He is the president of Kids, Inc. What is Kids, Inc.? It's about helping children develop. I brought him on so he can help us understand what to do with the horrific things that we hear in the news. And by the way, if you were not listening to KFAB, you missed some spectacular shows. Everyone was on air right away. We topped it. We were right there when it happened. We guided you through it. We had interviews. When you need to talk, when you need to know what's happening, stick to 1110 KFAB. Right now, I'm going to Dr. Allan Gonsher. Hello, Allan.
Hi, Susanna. How are you doing?
I am doing well, much better than everybody. You know, I'm not worried about those who died. I am, because they're with the big guy and they're at peace. But I am worried about us who survive, us who see this horrific actions in the media. Tell us, what are the lessons that we can learn from this? How can we guide our children out of this drama?
Well, first, my heart goes out to all the families, including the young man that unfortunately killed people. I mean, a lot of lives were lost, senseless behavior.
Well, you know, I want to stop there just for a minute because I'm not ready to pray for him yet.
Okay.
I'm not ready to pray for him. You know, I think too often we let people not be responsible for their actions.
Right, and I'm not going to. That isn't the purpose of our talk today. But I know he has a family, and we should.
I pray for his family.
Right.
I pray for his family.
I think one of the tragedies of these types of tragedies is that too many people want quick answers and quick fixes, and unfortunately, after being in the field for 30 years, I can conclude that they're not quick answers and quick solutions, and this just doesn't go away. So a couple thoughts I have is I'm not so concerned about how these situations come about, because I think we've spent years and years trying to analyze why children end up in this particular direction and are so disrespectful to human life. And we can spend time talking about that, but I'm more concerned is how do we help children understand and appreciate the tragedies like the killing of a vice principal. And I think, we're too quick into forcing our children to talk or forcing our children into feel. When tragedies like this happen, I'm talking about younger children. Mm-hmm. My expertise is younger children, 12 and younger, not the teenagers who will talk about everything and anything. Mm-hmm. But for younger children, I think it's very important to appreciate that whenever tragedies and traumas hit them, they go underground for a while. They'll ask a few questions, and then they go under the radar. And they try to get away from the pain and the disruption. And I think we have to be able to respect and honor the defense mechanism that these young children need to have and want to use in order to cope with such a bizarre, crazy event in their life.
So you're saying that if a child doesn't want to talk about it, not to force them to talk about it?
Right. But I think...
For how long?
Well, that's a good question, and, every human being is different. For some kids, it could be a few weeks. For some kids, it can be a few months, and every child is different. I mean, if you're dealing with a child who has experienced multiple traumas before something like this, boy, they can go underground for years.
Really?
You're dealing, you get a kid who maybe saw a parent shot, or they were raped or molested, or, those sorts of traumas, and then you throw on something like this for their sort of underdeveloped, innocent psyche. They want to say, I don't want anything to do with this. I want to be far away from this. I've already dealt with the pain in my life. And so they can go underground. And for some of these little kids, sometimes when they get into grown-uphood, adulthood, that's when they begin feeling and experiencing.
Wait. I've got two questions on that.
Sure.
How do we know that it won't fester into something where they act out?
Okay. Well,
horribly.
And the second question you have
is besides them acting out horribly, how do we know that it's not hurting them to not communicate? I mean, I've always thought the communication was the key.
Well, communication, this is a second point that I would want to make, and then I'll answer your question. That is, we often mistake that communication has to be verbal communication. Kids express themselves often in their play. They express their communication in their coloring. They express their communication in how they might pour a bowl of cereal. So we have to be able to be sensitive and insightful enough to watch, observe, have some sensitivity to our children, to our own children, to be able to appreciate that if a kid gets up every morning and used to have a bowl of Cheerios and now isn't having it, it might be that they're expressing something to us. I'll get to what we do with that, but I think we have to be insightful enough to know that if our child all of a sudden wets the bed, or our child all of a sudden becomes aggressive with a younger sibling, or maybe, the grades begin to drop, those are sure signs that maybe the child's saying something to us, and we have to be insightful enough to maybe at that point to use words to try to help the child express him or herself. But as a caveat to this, Suzanna, is that unfortunately, I've seen this in my practice over and over again, is that parents come to my office and they say, my child has a problem with his anger. And I'll look at the mom and say, when you get angry, what do? And the mom will say, I slam doors and I yell and scream. And I'll look at the dad or the partner, whatever, and I'll say, and how do you express your anger? And they'll say, I get mad, I drink, or I walk out the door. So now you want me to help your child communicate anger differently than you do, right?
So it's not expressing the anger that's the problem.
Right.
It is finding a healthy way to do it.
Right. Apples don't fall far from trees, and many parents want me to make that apple into an orange.
Okay.
The reason I'm mentioning that is because once children begin expressing themselves, whether it be through their nonverbals, maybe that's the time that we start talking, quote unquote, with them or listening to them. Oftentimes we talk way too much. Maybe innocent comments like, seems like you've been down the last few days. You haven't eaten your Cheerios. Or is something bothering you? You're picking on your sister. Or are you thinking about what happened at that school 2 weeks ago? I mean, every way is really massaged and sort of directed to the temperament of your child. And then once the child starts talking, we have to be able to listen. I've always said, I've said this on your show, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. We have a tendency to talk too much. Mm-hmm. We need to listen. So if our child looks at us and says, Daddy, I hate that man who shot and killed the principal. I think he was bad. I wish he was dead. I wish he would bleed to death. Whatever, creative way they're going to start talking, we as the parent have to listen. And we can't say, oh, that's not nice to think that. We have to listen and say, tell me more. Tell me how mad or sad or scared you are. I think many parents aren't equipped to listen. They're more inclined to lecture and to tell their child what they should be thinking and feeling. So in a situation like this, going back now, in a situation like this, I think many kids are going to go underground. And in the next 6 months, I said this after the Von Mar incident, which was 4 or 5 years ago. In 6 months, we're going to start seeing the community act up. And mark my words, I said it then and it'll happen now. 6 months after the Von Mar incident, our practice, the referrals were incredible. Because kids were acting out in Omaha because they were all upset about what had happened 6 months prior. I think come the springtime, many kids are going to start acting out in ways, and that we're going to look at it and not have the clue that there's trouble by what happened here in December.
All right, we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back, and we're going to ask you how can we help the kids cope when they start acting out. What can we do as a parent?
Okay.
What
good.
we can do as an adult, even help other adults acting out. I mean, we're all we're all affected by this.
Absolutely.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. This show is about getting healthy. Stay tuned.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. She knew I was going to say that.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Please find us at 1110 KFAB at psychicsusanna.com or KFAB. Join us on Life with Psychic Suzanna. Then you find out what we're coming up. And if there's any questions, anybody you want to hear from, please let us know. Also, you can join Susanna Stickney on Facebook. Both of those places keep you in charge of what's going on in my life. The thing that we're talking about today is violence. It smacks us in the face. We're sitting here, we're having a great day, and then all of a sudden we hear about someone who was loving to so many was shot by a tantrum. And we're talking now to Dr. Allan Gonsher about the tantrum. How do we prevent this, or can we prevent it? We cannot prevent this, is what you're telling me. There's no signs that our children are getting violent.
Well, I think Susanna, those two things are separate. One is preventing temper tantrums, and two, how do those temper tantrums get to the point where we had the situation?
Okay.
I think the first issue is you can't prevent temper tantrums. Let's be honest. The terrible twos are something that we carry throughout our life. Mm-hmm. What we can do is we can manage them better, and we need to teach children how to manage them better. And this is the old tried and true good parenting and helping children, fail in order to succeed, setting boundaries. And this, your show is not to talk about that, but it's a misnomer to say, let's get rid of temper tantrums. Kids have to, and grown-ups have to.
Yeah, I throw tantrums. I throw tantrums. I just don't harm others.
Right. That's
how do we teach the kids to have respect for life and responsibility for life?
that's a complicated question, but I would propose that when children have those when they're young, that we use things like reward systems or timeouts or whatever the method that we use, but we really have to not freak out because our child's having a temper tantrum. If we're in a supermarket and our child is having a temper tantrum, I don't know if that's the time to say, oh, honey, tell me what you're upset about. Maybe that's the time we pick up our child, we take them and put them in the car, and we said, you're going to be sitting here for 5 minutes until you stop that. Or at bedtime, that we have very set bedtimes. So I think there's a lot of different ways to manage temper tantrums. So as children get older, they will have temper tantrums like you and I, but it will be appropriate temper tantrums. We might even say to someone, I'm so angry with you, I want to just turn these things over on your desk, and then you walk out and you say, I'm not going to do that, but that's how angry I am. Maybe we do it verbally. Maybe we go work out. Maybe we go and help the unfortunate. But, we have to teach the children how to, when they have that excessive anger, we have to have boundaries around them so they don't get out of control. But in addition to that, we have to give vehicles by which they can express it, even if it's inappropriate. So, for example, toys and play are wonderful ways that kids can let them out. I mean, if you let kids play dollhouse, you will hear and sense their rage, their anger, their temper tantrums being played out in that. And maybe, if you saw Toy Story, you see, sometimes toys get thrown around. Sometimes toys have fights and arguments, and kids can express it that way. Sometimes getting a whole bunch of army men together and having them fight. Maybe getting Play-Doh and smashing and slapping Play-Doh can really help kids sort of get that aggression out. Coloring, sometimes music, sometimes running. But there's lots of different things that we don't think about. I think there's two parts here. One is how do you set limits on the child who's out of control, and then the second is how do you give them vehicles to express some of their rage. But I just want to point out to you something that I learned years ago, is that little boys do mads real well. They don't do sads real well. And when they can't do sads, they intensify their mads. And little girls do sads very well. They can't do mads, and so they intensify their sads.
Ooh.
So whatever feelings that kids are expressing to us, we have to be very cautious that just because we see a lot of mads, there might be underlying sads about it. Lots of kids in the next 3 to 6 months can be acting out in many aggressive ways. Maybe what they're really saying is they're sad about someone who died. Maybe they're saying, I'm afraid. And if we just look at the mad part, then we're going to lose the whole picture of what the child might be expressing to us. Okay.
We're going to take a little break. I'm going to, when we come back, we have two things I want to ask you. Number one, the shame of a parent. I mean, I've had a child throw tantrums, and I've not known how to handle it. I mean, and here, look what I do. I mean, I couldn't figure it out. The shame of a parent that might be going through this. The shame of a parent not knowing how to handle this. We're going to come right back with Dr. Allan from Kids Inc. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna. You stay here. You grow with us. Let's make the world a better place with peace in our heart. We'll be right back. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can find us at psychicsusanna.com or kfab.com, where you can have a signal of this and listen to this program again. We have on with us Dr. Allan Gonsher. He is here from Kids Inc., and Kids Inc. is helping children develop. He's here to help us understand the madness, how to cope with the madness, how to communicate with the madness. In 2 weeks, we're going to have someone talking to us about the spiritual side of the madness and how to find calmness in the middle of chaos. It's an important lesson, and we've got to keep at it. Dr. Allan, we're running short on time, so I'm going to ask, can I keep you on after the 8 o'clock hour?
I'll work my schedule, yes.
Okay. Tell me, what, and then after the 8 o'clock hour, let's talk about reassuring our children. But right now, is there a quick fix or something you can tell us that can tell us as a parent when our child throws a tantrum and
right.
We're right in the middle of it. What do we do?
Real quickly, Susanna, I'll really quickly talk about that, but I think we have to get to some techniques which will help our children in 3 to 6 months. But here's the problem. When you're in public and your child is acting out, you're in a lose-lose situation. You have to accept it. If you do nothing, you're a weenie parent. And if you do something, you're a meanie parent. And so if your child's acting out, I guarantee you, if you're the weenie parent, it'll happen again and again and again.
Okay.
If you're the meanie parent and you say to your child, I'm picking you up, I'm taking you out, and the entire place recognizes that you're doing something, everyone will say, oh, my, how mean that parent is. I guarantee you at least you have a 50% chance your child's not going to do that again. So embarrassment when you're in public, that's a given when you have children. And you have to just say, I've got a lose-lose situation, cut my losses, take care of it, and move on. If you don't take that attitude, I guarantee it'll happen again and again and again.
What at home, though? Let's go at home.
At home, then it's not an issue of embarrassment. It's an issue of can you do it? It's not, I mean, who can be embarrassed unless there's a grandparent around or an aunt or an uncle?
You know, it's just sort of like you feel like your kids shouldn't do this. Why are they doing this? No.
Well, that's a fallacy in thinking, because if you think your children shouldn't be doing something, then you have no clue how children should be, because children have to act out. Children have to be oppositional.
Okay.
So we have to accept that principle.
All right. We will be right back with Dr. Allan Gonsher. He's going to be talking to us about how we can help our children. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Please stay tuned. We're here to empower you. Yes, you're right where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can find us at psychicsusanna.com, where you have the schedule of what I'm doing. You go to kfab.com. Every show we've had, and we've had some doozies that will empower you, will be listed. This show will be up by Wednesday. Pass it around so you can help others handle life a little bit better. We're talking today about violence. We're talking about how we can deal with violence within the family, help our children deal with it when they stuff it down, how we move forward with it. We have Dr. Allan Gonsher on. Dr. Gonsher?
Yes.
I'm saying your name wrong, aren't I?
No, you did it right this time.
Oh, my God, I'm working on it so bad.
You're working on it.
I called your wife.
I know.
And I said, I'm really worried about that because I have a problem with it. And you are with Kids, Inc.?
Yes.
And you're located here in Omaha. Can you give us your number?
Well, we're located, we also have 2 clinics in Overland Park, Kansas.
Okay.
The number you can reach us is at 402-330-4014, or on the internet at kids-incorporated, spell out incorporated.com, kids-incorporated.com.
Okay, so we're coming back to you, and we're looking to you to help us understand or give us ideas on how we can help our children when they see violence like this on the TV and hear it on the radio. How can we help them?
So one of the things I said in the first half an hour is that kids are going to go underground. So I have a couple suggestions for parents who want to help their kids as they're underground to maybe come up ground in a more constructive way. One thing is bedtime, and for sure firstborn kids, bedtime is what I call their soft moments. All you have to do is go into a bedroom right before a firstborn goes to bed, and you say, how was your day? And they are like putty, and they will tell you everything. And you have to be willing to listen. So they might say, my day was terrible, I hated it, I flunked 3 tests, I got into a fight. But you have to be able to listen, and that's their time that they're going to dump and unload and share with you their feelings. You know, if there's something you have to address on your way out, you'll say, tomorrow we'll talk about it. But that's your moment to learn how to listen, and that's their moment to be able to share with you some of their thoughts and feelings. So in light of what happened in Omaha this past week, it might be worthy of us to lay down in the next few weeks with our children and say, how was your day? Or are you still thinking about what happened at Millard? You know, and if the moment is right, they will share it with you. Okay. Another thing that I do is what I call The 10-second commercial. What's the 10-second commercial?
10-second commercial.
Right.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay, 10-second commercials. You're driving down the street, and out of the nowhere with your kid in the car, you say, that was a terrible thing that happened at Millard. Don't say anything else. 2 days later, as you're doing the dishes and your kid's around, you'd say, I hate when things like this happen. 3 days later, when you're, putting them to bed, and you say something like, what a terrible tragedy when someone dies. And in about the fourth or fifth time you send out one of those 10-second commercials, your kid's going to look at you and say, Mommy, what are you talking about? And then you, in a very innocent way, you say to your child, what do you mean? And they'll say, well, the last few weeks, all you keep talking about is what happened at Millard and people dying and stuff like that. And that's our opportunity to look at our kid and say, what do you think? Well, I think it's stupid and la, la, la. It's like fishing. You sent out the worm, you got a couple nibbles, and then finally they bite. So what you have to do is sort of set the stage of just little things to let them know that you haven't forgotten, you're putting it out there, and they have a chance to think about it, to respond to it at their pace when they're ready to think about it. And one last suggestion is art projects are wonderful ways to let kids express themselves. With little girls, the first and the second picture are typically not worth looking at. It's the third picture. First and second picture will be a happy, sunny rainbow. Everyone's happy. By the third picture, there'll be more black, there'll be more coloring, there'll be more expression. I think if we give...
Is that in a time period?
Pardon me?
Is that in a time period?
Yeah, no, that's as you sit there and you draw, the first picture will always be pretty. The
okay,
second
so we have to sit with them and let them draw.
Yeah, I mean, listen, children aren't fast food, in and out. You got to, and that's the other thing I strongly encourage outside of this topic is that every week every kid is entitled to a half-an-hour date with their parent. They should have a half an hour every week where there's undivided attention by the parent, where you're not spending money, you're not playing stupid video games, and you're looking eyeball to eyeball, touching, looking, playing, enjoying. And those will be opportunities that your kid, maybe in 3 months, will say to you, Mommy, I'm still thinking about. Or you look at your child and you say, I'm still troubled by that Millard stuff. What are you thinking? And that's the verbal way that we might get kids to practice a little bit more effectively on what they're thinking and feeling about what happened at Millard.
Wow.
So those are 4 suggestions for you.
I appreciate you being on at the last moment to help us guide us through this drama that we're going with. By the way, as a grown-up, I love playing with Play-Doh.
Well, good.
Okay. I don't know if you want to sit me on a couch and talk about that, but, listen,
Suzanna, kids have to see that, the play world is not just kids. It's us, too. They have to see that we know how to unwind. We know how to let out our feelings and not just verbally, too. So.
Well, okay, I'm safe with that then.
You're very safe.
Okay. I want to tell you one other thing that I used to do when my youngest son was from 7 on up. I took him out to lunch once a week.
There you are.
And we sat face to face with each of my kids. I tried to do that. And we sat. Matter of fact, I used to do that with my husband. And I still do that with my husband, and he's still my best friend.
There you are.
So that communication thing is an important thing.
See, Suzanna, when I started our interview by saying it's complicated, but you know what? The bottom line is what we're going to do is not complicated. It's being with people. It's being available to our children. It's being able to do the basic stuff. It's how to have human contact with our children. I think that is a preventative way of this sort of behavior getting to the outrageous part that to the extreme that it got to. But we got to do it at a younger age with our children.
Well, one of the things, though, when I talked earlier about shame, when your kids act out, even in school, you feel like you should have done something about it,
Right.
You should know what to do. But we're learning, and as we learn, I want to thank you for coming on the air with us.
Well, you're welcome for inviting me. I know that I'm sort of a regular for you, and I'm flattered that you think of me and trust me in what I have to share. And if I can be of some help to the community, I'm always available. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if you'll leave us with your phone number one more time.
Okay, it's Kids Inc. at 402-330-4014. or at kids-incorporated, spell out incorporated.com, and you can always call, and I'm more than happy to talk with anyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Dr.
be well and
Gonsher.
have a good year, Susanna.
I will.
Okay, bye-bye.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna. When we come back, we're going to go to your phones. We're going to talk about what's on your mind. It's amazing that we still have life and we still move forward. And no matter how big our problem is, it's not as big as we think it is if we communicate and talk about. I again want to applaud Scott and Tom, how they took over the show and the stories that were happening this past week, how they were on top of it, how they kept us informed and alert. We want to give a special prayer to the families of Christina Green, who was born on a 9/11, and her father thought it was a meaning of goodness. And we also want to thank special prayers to Vicky Casper's family, who we lost a great teacher here. We lost somebody who really worked at helping us all be better. And thank God there are beautiful people out there and they get to reap the rewards. We are coming back with your calls. The numbers are what, Jim?
We have a toll-free number, 1-800-543-1110, and then locally, 558-1110.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna. Be here with us.
Psychic Suzanna.
Can't get through on the radio show? Call Psychic Suzanna anytime at 712-276-9349. That's 712-276-9349. Or visit her webpage, PsychicSusanna.com.
It's 8:21, and this is 1110 KPB. What I'd like to pass along here right now, this is Jim Lobert with 1110 KFB, is that we have some announcements. Yes, a lot of the metro schools of the Omaha area. Susanna wants the mic on. Susanna!
We all get to sleep late tomorrow because we don't have to get the kids up.
That's right.
Let's talk about it.
They haven't used any of those snow emergencies yet, so I think it's going to be trickling in here. But anyhow, passing along the Omaha Metro schools, from what I've seen so far, a lot of closing. Bennington, Bishop Newman, Elkhorn Public Schools closed. Humphrey, West Side District 66, Bellevue Public. So they're starting to trickle in here. Blair Community. So, it looks like the weather's starting to hit, and they're playing it on the smart side. So once again, we do have a winter weather advisory from now until Tuesday morning, 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. That's about all I have, Susanna. Back to you.
That's pretty good. We get to stay at home. We get to stay in bed. We do want you to know that we're going to take your calls. What is that number again?
800-543-1110 or locally 558-1110.
Okay. And then we're going to go, I think we ought to go to our 800 line.
800, that sounds good.
Hello, Betty.
Hello.
Betty, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New Mexico.
New Mexico, and you're 90 years old?
Pardon?
And how old are you, dear?
I'm 90.
Uh-huh. And you're from New Mexico. The weather must be good. Very good down there for you to be around. I've got to tell you, I feel very good about this year for you. There are going to be 2 reunions that you're going to be having this coming year with people you haven't seen for decades. And they're going to be coming a long distance. I feel very good about that. I'm also going to tell you that there is going to be lost money in the mail. The lost money in the mail is within 4 to 6 months. You might want to be aware of that. There is also going to be, have you ever had a broken bone lately, honey?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope not.
Well, do you drink much water?
Well, I'm supposed to drink a lot of water because of, fluid buildup.
Yeah, and it strengthens your bones, right?
But you don't know.
But the thing you said that was very interesting is I am supposed to. I'm thinking you need to up your water and take some calcium, okay?
Yes.
All right? So let's get on those vitamins. Let's drink our water. By the way, I do want you to know there is a female on the phone who's going to be apologetic. She wants to just take advantage of you again, okay?
Who is this?
A female on the phone.
Okay.
And you're what part of New Mexico again?
Well, I'm 72 miles south of Albuquerque, and it's called a little town called Socorro.
Socorro.
Yeah.
And what is Socorro? What is Socorro's fame? Name to claim. Name for fame. What is it known for? Well, that was bad. What was it named for?
Well, actually, I never looked into it to find out.
Okay.
I just moved down here because my daughter wants me close by. You can understand why.
Well, because you're a blessing.
What?
Because you're a blessing to her. Because she loves you.
Well, yeah.
All right, leave it alone. That's all you need to know. Family wants family by them. A lot of kids, when their parents are 90, don't take care of them and love them like your daughter does. So,
okay.
All right? It's because she loves you. All right?
Could I ask a question, please?
Oh, go ahead.
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay, I have another daughter, and I'm quite concerned about her.
And
we would like to have her come and get close to us if we could.
what's her name?
Carla.
And how old is she?
I would believe, let's see, she was born in 54.
Uh-huh. Okay. So she's going to be about 56. I don't see her coming there, honey.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What do you see?
I have her staying where she is. She's she likes to complain a lot, though. And I just don't see her moving. I think she'd rather sit in her stuff and complain. Thank you for calling, okay? God bless. Bye-bye. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110. We had a 90-year-old from Arizona. You got to love that.
Yeah, these New Mexico callers. I don't know what
our
signal
is a powerhouse.
It is awesome.
And we have people like Tom and Scott and Gary who keep us informed so everyone can hear about us.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Our local guys.
How
top
cool
notch.
is that? How
That
cool
very,
is that?
Very. Can I say very?
Yeah,
very
we
cool.
could say that.
Okay.
And we'll go to line 1 now.
Okay, Kathy?
Okay. Hello, Kathy.
Hello.
Kathy, first of all, are you wanting to lose some weight?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How much are you wanting to lose, honey?
A lot.
Okay. Are you aware you have a horrible circulation?
Yeah.
Are you wanting a stroke?
What?
Do you want a stroke?
No.
Okay. Do you move much in the day?
Do I what?
Move around much in the day?
Not a whole bunch.
Not at all.
Okay.
All right. Kathy, you're sort of like the mother of the whole frickin' world. If someone's got a problem, they call you. You take care of them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You do spread yourself too thin, but you don't take care of yourself. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have your granddaughter yet, do you?
Do I have one?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. How old is she?
I have several.
Okay. Do you want to be at their weddings? I think you have another one coming, by the way. Do you want
Yes,
to be
I
at...
do.
Huh?
I do have one coming.
Okay, cool. Do you want to be at her wedding?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Then don't you think it's about time to love your family enough that you start taking care of yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And that horrible self-talk you do where you put yourself down, are you aware you're putting down your children with that talk?
No.
That's what they're learning. They're learning that if I come from trash, how can I be good? You're putting down their mother. Let's cut that crap out.
Okay.
All right. Do you have a question for me, Kathy?
We've just had a horrible couple of years. I was just wondering if anything's going to get better.
You know why it's going to get better?
Why?
Because you're going to take control, Kathy.
Okay.
You know, we cannot be responsible for what happens around us. Okay?
Okay.
We're only responsible for how we understand it and how we cope. That's it. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to say that you're going to get in charge of your life, and that will help others get in charge of their life, and you're going to stop spreading yourself too thin. And you're going to take care of your health. However, if you do not, I do have you in the hospital within 14 months. Now, when you call a psychic, when you call me, anything I see can be changed. But you've got to take the power. Okay?
Okay.
By the way, what is your husband's name?
Eric.
Are you aware how much that man adores you?
Yeah.
Are you aware you don't let him all the time?
Can I what?
You don't let him take care of you? You don't let him support you? I want you to slap your hand, okay?
Oh, okay, I just did.
All right, and I want you to change that attitude.
Okay.
That man needs you, loves you, and wants you to be happy. So when you put yourself down, you're also putting him down. Let's cut that out. By the way, what is your dog's name?
Buddy.
Buddy has no clue he's a dog. What kind of dog is he?
We know that. He's a black lab.
He thinks he's a small baby. He thinks he's a small dog. Okay, I just want you to know you might want to sit and talk to him a little bit, all right?
Okay.
All right. Help him to understand he's a dog. Okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
I see Sarpy Head Start is closed, too.
Okay, yeah, we do have some announcements. I'll get to
Oh,
those
my
in just a bit.
God. We have a lot. But you know what? Thank God they're listening to KFAB because we're the one who keeps them online with what's ever going on.
Mm-hmm.
We are the station you need to listen to. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. We will be right back with school closings. Yes, this is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can find us at psychicsusanna.com or 1110kfab.com. This is the station, this is the show that wants to keep you informed. We want to help you with your tomorrows by taking care of today.
Are you serious?
What?
About helping about tomorrow's?
Yeah.
Okay, you knew I was going to spring something on you.
Don't spring. I'm not ready for it. I want to tell everyone not to drive crazy.
Okay.
Are you one of those crazy drivers?
No, only if I'm in a rush.
All right, don't be a crazy driver.
But hold on now.
Let's
I want to
get
ask you something, though.
Okay, go
Tomorrow, just put on your psychic hat.
Uh-huh.
I got, a big thing tomorrow is the BCS National Championship game.
I have no clue what that
Okay,
is.
well, just think.
Okay.
I'll give you the names
All
of
right.
the teams. You got to help me out here because if I can win,
Is there money on this?
Yeah.
Am
a
I
little
going to
bit,
get
yeah.
my 10%?
You'll get yourself
Okay.
a diet,
Let's go.
this Lipton stuff.
Yeah.
So we got Oregon and Auburn. What are you feeling? Who's going to
Oregon.
win? Oregon?
Yeah,
The Ducks?
I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, this is good for me. I have Oregon. If I get Oregon, I will win my 55-man confidence pool.
Wow.
And there's some moolah involved. So,
Okay.
yeah, I like hearing that, Susanna.
I'll look for my 10% right off the top.
Oregon, we heard it, folks.
But
Ducks.
right now, though,
Okay.
let's drive safely, slowly, and carefully. We don't have to get anywhere too fast. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Look both ways. Be defensive driving because in another 20 minutes, I'm going to be on the road. And, boy, you have to watch out for my driving, okay? So let's all be alert. Stay tuned to 1110. We'll give you the lowdown on the weather, what roads are open and closed. So we'll keep you informed. This is what we do here. Right now, we're going to go back to the phone, and I think we're on line 2, and we're talking to Pat?
Christy?
Christy.
You're on line 2.
Yeah.
Hello, Christy.
Hi.
All right, Christy, let's figure this out. Are you 36 years old?
Yep.
We got it. Okay, Christy, first of all, I'm going to tell you that there is going to be money from your past. I like this. Don't argue. Coming in the mail within 4 months. I get 10%. It is not the IRS. Okay?
Okay.
I'm also going to tell you, you have a lot of common sense. Are you aware of that?
Sometimes.
Are you aware that? Are you in management?
No.
Are you aware that a lot of people look to you for your common sense?
Yeah.
Are you aware that a lot of people take advantage of you because of your common sense?
No.
Okay. Here's the thing. We know that you know how to put things together that work. And so a lot of us will take advantage of you. So I want you to be aware of this, Christy, because you're not real good about saying no. I do want you to know within 4 to 6 years, you're going to create your own business.
Okay.
I want to talk to you a little bit about your mood swings. Are you know how pathetic they are?
Yeah.
And are you aware that everybody is concerned with your mood swings and panic?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And are you aware you have mood swings because you're very intuitive?
Yeah.
You know when people are lying, you've got to start trusting it more. You're a natural teacher, you're a natural leader, so sometimes you feel responsible for things you're not, and you stuff it. We call that stupid. I want you to be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have your father's legs? Where's your father?
Where's my father?
Yeah.
In Colorado.
Okay. Do you have his legs by any chance?
Maybe.
Okay. For some reason, I'm picking up something with your father's legs, so you figure that out on your own time. It's not my issue.
Okay.
I am. Are you aware of how proud he is of you?
Yeah.
Okay. He just sort of thinks you're pretty darn good, pretty darn cool, and just be aware of that, all right?
Okay.
There is going to be money out of the blue that is going to be coming through your husband. What is his name?
Brad?
Are you aware how much he loves you?
Yeah.
Does he handle the money?
Sometimes.
Well, if you ever let him handle the money, could you call me? I'd like to get him drunk and roll him. Okay?
Okay.
Are you aware he doesn't care about money?
Yeah.
He cares about you.
Yeah.
Are you aware sometimes you don't let him think that he's doing a good job with you?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think that's fair?
No.
Are you aware how much he loves you?
Yeah.
He's bad with money, so big deal.
Yeah.
You're good with money.
Yeah.
And you're a control freak, so deal with it. Okay?
Yep.
What is your son's name, by the way?
I don't have a son.
Okay, your daughter's name?
Samantha or Alyssa?
Samantha is how old?
12.
And the other one?
9.
And her name?
Alyssa?
Uh-huh. Are you aware that, first of all, your oldest daughter is affected by your moods? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Are you aware she feels responsible when you're not happy?
No.
Yeah, that's not fair for her. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know she's that sensitive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The younger one couldn't give a darn. Okay?
Uh-huh.
She's a little sneaky one.
Yep.
She could sell sand to a camel. She is not a liar. She believes what she says, so don't make her a liar, okay?
Yep.
But she's going to have the money.
Okay.
Plan on that. I'm also picking up on your ankles. Do your ankles bother you?
Not really. Maybe sometimes.
Do your legs or ankles bother you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do any exercise?
No.
Have you thought of yoga?
No.
Try it.
Okay.
Okay? I feel like your muscles or something just isn't there.
Uh-huh.
So I want you to work on your situation. Christy, do you have a question?
I don't think so.
Okay. By the way, Christy, there is some paperwork that needs attention. So be aware of that within 2 months.
Okay.
I'm so glad you called. I'm so glad you're listening. 1110 KFAB rocks.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Suzanna, did you want to talk to Pat?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to Pat, line 2.
What's up with that?
Well, let's just say, Pat, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Pat, take it away.
All right, Pat. Pat, first of all, you're 41, is that correct?
That's correct.
Correct. Now, Pat, are you, first of all, in management?
I'm sorry.
Are you in management?
No, ma'am.
Are you aware you're a fixer-upper kind of guy?
No, ma'am.
Are you aware you're the kind of man who can go into something and think it through and figure out what to do with it?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a good planner. You're extremely good at planning. You're a good organization. Your follow-through is a little bit late.
You're missing the mark on that one.
You don't think you're a planner and you're a follow-through? Okay. That's how I get it.
Very talented, lack of planning.
Oh, I think in some weird way you are a good planner. But your follow-through is what's not working, honey. First of all, I want you to know there's going to be financial improvement, steady basis within 2 months. I also want you to know there's going to be a trip down a dirt road. You're going to be in somebody's home. You're going to hear something that will settle an issue from the past. Be aware of that within 6 months. There is going to be a phone call that you're going to get. This phone call is going to be accusing you of something you didn't do. Hang up the phone. What is
Just got it yesterday.
It's not my problem. Just hang up. Here's the problem, though, Pat. If somebody's upset, you feel responsible for it. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Are you aware there are times you could dance on one foot and twirl and sing and hold your hands in your pocket and you still could not make people happy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You cannot be responsible for other people's reaction. And I got to tell you, Pat, you're a cool dude. You're a good guy. Okay? So
I want your show to succeed. I enjoy listening to you.
Well, I'm very honored you said that. But I'm also going to tell you, do you like doing carpentry work?
No, not so much. My wife does.
Okay. Well, there's going to be some carpentry work that is going to be very, very cool. Okay? And what is your daughter's name, by the way?
Emily.
And how old is she?
9 months.
Are you aware she lights up when you're in the room?
Yes, I am.
You are going to be wonderful, Daddy. I need you to get a good video camera because she's going to tap dance and ballet.
I believe that.
Okay, so just get ready your wallet, get it close. You've got it. You're a good family man. By the way, more children than your own will call you Dad. Thank you for being here, and thank you for staying tuned. We're taking a break. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Stay tuned. Stay here. This is where we grow.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. All right, Jim.
Yes.
Let's hear about the snow closing.
Oh, yeah. All these are closed schools for tomorrow. I'm going to start at A and go all the way to Y.
All right, let's do it.
There goes. Okay, these are all closed, folks, as far as schools for tomorrow because of the impending 8 inches we may have by tomorrow night. Arlington Public, Arlington St. Paul, Ashland Greenwood, Bellevue C Academy, Bellevue Public, Bennington, Blair Community, Blair Head Start, Brownell Talbot, Council Bluffs over there, St. Albert's, Clarkson Public Schools, Concordia Junior and Senior, Cornerstone, Council Bluffs Head Start, Council Bluffs Public Schools closed tomorrow, Douglas County West Schools closed, ESU number 3, EduCare Head Start, Elkhorn St. Patrick's, Elkhorn Public, Friedel Academy, Good Shepherd Omaha, Grace University, Heartland School, Howells Public, Humphrey Public, and Humphrey St. Francis. No schools tomorrow, no school. Millard Public, Missouri Valley, Mount Markle, Mount Calvary Lutheran, Omaha Catholic, Omaha Public, the Omaha Street School, Papillion La Vista, Phoenix Academy, all closed for tomorrow. Sacred, make that Sarpy Head Start, St. Mary's, St. Matthew, St. Stephen Martyr, all closed. Sword of Spirit, Trinity Christian, Trinity Learning Center, Underwood Hills, Focus, University of Nebraska-Lincoln closed on our Monday. West Harrison, West Point Public, West Side District 66, and UTAN Public. There we have it. Susanna.
All right. Then shall we go to the phones?
Let's do it.
All right. I want to talk to Zia.
Zia, I think she's on the 800 line. Is that correct?
Nope, she's on line 4.
Line 4 was Zia. Okay, Zia.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Zia? Where did you get your name from, Zia?
I don't know. It's Zaya.
Say that again? Zia?
Zaya.
We weren't saying your name correctly.
It's Zaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Zaya, where did you get your name from?
My mom.
Well, of course, but why?
She just found it in a baby book. It was supposed to be Zayazam, but she shortened it.
Ah, okay. And you're 13 years old, correct?
Yep.
And who's listening with you?
My friend Ashley.
Okay. First of all, I want you to know that you're 13 years old, so you want to believe everybody. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Wanting to believe in being innocent of youth is just wonderful. Enjoy it. But I want you to be aware, Zia, to trust your intuition because it's very good. You have a sense when people are lying to you and they're not, don't you?
Yes.
But even when they're lying to you, you let them and let them get away with it, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Let's stop that. Let's get smarter. Okay?
Okay.
Also, I need you to learn to walk away from dumb people.
Yeah, I have problems with that.
Okay. I want you to ask will these people you're hanging out who are dumb and doing stupid things and not making your life any better by hanging around them, will they be the kind of people you want your children to be around?
Probably not.
Okay, because you're going to have children. Okay?
Okay.
And you can't ask them not to do the stupid things you'll do. Okay?
Okay.
So I need you to be a little alert to that because you're not walking away from dumb. Now, you're not going to know your husband till you're 25. Leave it alone. Okay?
Okay.
So don't even look at boys before that. If they're naked, close your eyes. Okay?
Okay.
You won't know your husband till you're 25, but there is somebody, a guy around you now who's playing a lot of little games. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know he wants to take advantage of you, don't you?
Yep.
Everyone before you're 25 will want to take advantage of you. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they're idiots. That's all they think about. Okay? The right one is until when?
25.
That's it. Okay? Now, you're going to have 2 daughters, so don't treat your parents like you don't want your children to treat you. Okay?
Okay.
You're also going to live and love in a southern state, and you're going to spend some time in another country. You're going to create your own business. You're going to live on an acreage with your husband. Right on.
I'm going to what?
Live on an acreage with your husband. Now,
that was fun.
it's going to be, honey, if you don't screw it up by being with dummies. Okay? By the way, I do want you to know, do you know how much your dad loves you?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's in the living room.
Okay. He does love you a lot, but he doesn't know how to talk to you. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you don't make it easy. Come on. They're your parents. Cut them some slack. Help them learn to communicate better, okay?
That's good.
Okay. You do the same. By the way, something you write will be in print. You rock, woman. You rock. I'm looking forward to meeting you sometime. Pass the phone to Heather. Hello?
Oh, sorry, what?
Pass the phone to your girlfriend, honey.
To my dad?
No, your girlfriend.
Oh, she's on her house.
Oh, okay. Can she talk?
I can have her call in.
Oh, well, she won't get through. Thank you for calling in, young lady, and you be good to those that are going to be good to you and walk away from dumb. Let me hear you say you're going to walk away from dumb.
I'll walk away from dumb.
Thank you, babe. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna. We're taking a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Life with Psychic Susanna on 1110 KFAB. She knew I was going to say that.